Alright guys, we are back with another hat format finals at Epic Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We have Robert Hernandez on the left playing Curry Bandit Artifact Trap Trick versus Nate on the right playing Spellbooks. Nate activates Pot of Duality, so it reveals top 3 cards of his deck, add ones to hand, then you shuffle. You can only activate 1 Duality per turn, and you cannot push summon the turn you activate Pot of Duality. So Robert did go 5-0 in Swiss, won his top 4 matches, he's 6-0 so far, while Nate went X1. This is our 5th hat tournament I've uploaded on the channel, and hat has made the finals. This will be the 3rd time out of 5. So I think it's made the finals more than the other decks. I'm keeping track of all these stats for hat for the time being. All right, so Nate sets 4. Well, he did add the Fiendish Chain. Also, this is the first time Robert's made the finals, while Nate's made the finals quite a few times. He's got 1 win on the channel. He's trying to get a 2nd win. All right, so Robert added Artifact Ignition with Pot of Duality. So this is going to be a grind game because these aren't really like Soul Charge. I mean, Robert probably plays Soul Charge, but it's not like overwhelming like in Mermail or in Sylvan's or Lightsworn Ruler. So he blind ignitions. Oh, hits the warning. Oh, what a good hit. One of the best cards in hat formats all morning. So he ignitions the warning, sets, which he set one of his artifacts. So artifact ignition is like an MST, except you have to have a artifact in your deck. So he chained ignition to the upstart. Now Robert sets 2 more back rows. Normal summons Curry Bandit. Now do you attack? Do you risk attacking? See, I've had that choice myself, and Deep Prison, it's not, and Mirror Force aren't as common in this format, but you never know. Like, I remember, it's so risky because Curry Bandit is such a good card. So Curry Bandit, you excavate during your end phase, the turn it's normal summoned, you excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, you add 1 spell or trap that you excavated to your hand, and the rest go to the graveyard. So he chose Ignition, probably because he already has an artifact in his spell and trap card zone. So artifacts, if they're destroyed in your spell and trap card zone during your opponent's turn, their effects trigger, and they special summon themselves. And here comes a Soul Charge! So Soul Charge is probably the best card in hat format. So both these guys will trigger. He can actually chain block, but he's going to torrential anyway. Oh, I don't think he can chain block because he has no targets for Dionea. So Trap Trick's Murmalea, when it's special summoned, you can pop a spell or trap card. And he popped the torrential, but Nate chained it, and then he used Curry Bandit's effect again. He adds Call off the Curry Bandit. So let me go over Soul Charge real quick. It's you can only activate 1 Soul Charge per turn. You can't conduct your battle phase the turn you use Soul Charge. You can special summon as many monsters as possible. And if you do, you pay 1,000 for each. Alright, so here he ignitions his Moral Attack. Now, it's going to be special summoned during Nate's turn. Now, Moral Attack, when it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, pops any face-up card on the field and doesn't target, which matters. Which is dumb that it doesn't target, but... Okay, so now... Okay, Robert's just going in. He doesn't even care. He MSTs his Beagle Attack, but Nate with the main deck DD Crow. Ooh. Yes. And now he goes Call. Oh, he chains Call to the DD Crow. Okay, I see. So he MSTs Beagle Attack. Beagle Attack's effect to special summon itself from the grave. This doesn't even matter. This is looking bad for Nate. So now he has to Fiendish Chain the Beagle Attack. He knows his other set is Moral Attack. He goes for Pallades, bounces back his Call. So Pallades is a rank 5 XYZ. You need 2 level 5 light monsters to make it. It's a quick effect. During either player's turn, you can bounce any card on the field, return it to the hand. So he returned Call. So now he has 2 interruptions for Nate. He has Call, that we know for sure, and Pallades. Maybe he should have detached the Beagle Attack because the Beagle Attack is going to pop his Moral Attack. So yeah, maybe he should have... Okay, so he's just going to bounce the back row. Yeah, he's probably going to activate Call now. Yes, Call the Beagle Attack. Pop the Moral Attack. I think Moral Tech is mandatory, so I think he has to pop that Fiendish Chain. Let me go look it up. Artifact, Moral Tech. But Nate concedes game 1, so Robert's 1 win away from getting his first win on the channel and giving Artifacts a second win on the channel, while Spellbooks, first time Spellbooks have even made top 4. So shout out to Nate. Oh no, it's not mandatory. Someone said it's mandatory. No, you can destroy one face of card your opponent controls. Okay, never mind. Someone told me it was mandatory. So game 2, Nate starts off by summoning Blue Boy, or Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, which, when it's normal or flip summon, you can add any Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. So he adds Secrets, which searches any Spellbook card. And then he activates Master. Ooh, he changed Crow to Master. Okay, so Master, you have to control a spellcaster monster, reveal a Spellbook spell card in your hand, and then you can copy the effect of a normal Spellbook spell card in your grave. But Robert chained DD Crow, so I'm guessing the Master just fizzles. And he revealed Eternity. He activates Eternity to grab back Secrets. So Eternity grabs back a banished Spellbook spell card. Alright, now here comes Pot of Duality from Robert. He adds Artifact Ignition with the Pot of Duality. Ignition's a Solemn Warning again. A Solemn Warning's at 1, guys. So remember, Ignition's an MST, but you can MST, obviously, yeah, it's an MST. You can hit your own cards, your opponent's cards, and then you set a artifact from your deck. So he attacks over Blue Boy with Dionea. Dionea is like a Blizzard / Debris Dragon, but he has no targets right now. Alright, it's not looking good for our hero, Nate. Nate summons Blue Boy, and Robert chains Breakthrough Skill to try and negate Blue Boy's effect. Nate chains Spellbook Wisdom, which it's a quick play spell card. And makes your spellcast monster unaffected. You have to choose either A, spells, or B, traps. So he's going to choose traps. So for the rest of the turn, Blue Boy's unaffected by trap cards. I've played both these decks. You know, I haven't played Hat in 10 years, but I did play these 2 decks. The Hat deck I played at locals, quite a few locals actually. And Spellbooks, I played it at I actually played Spellbooks at a YCS once, San Mateo in 2013. But I didn't play the full power Spellbooks with Spellbook of Judgment. I played the nerfed version. So really similar to the deck Nate's playing, except I had 3 Fate. That's the only difference. Okay, so he Blue Boys, then Secrets. Adds Spellbook of the Tower, which I think is probably the second best card in the deck behind Fate. You can make the argument it's better than Fate. And especially when you're playing against a kind of a grind game like it is versus Hat. Okay, so he sets a spell card. And Robert MSTs his Moral Attack. Okay, he changed Crow to the Moral Attack. That was huge. You're seeing the power of DD Crow in both these matchups. So he attacked over Blue Boy with Dionea. Is he going to use Fate? Does he have Fate set? So for the Spellbook of the Tower, you have to control a spellcaster monster on your field or in your graveyard. So Spellbook of the Tower, during your standby phase, you return 1 Spellbook spell card from your graveyard to the bottom of your deck, and you draw 1 card. So Fate, you can banish 3 Spellbook spell cards from your graveyard to banish any card your opponent controls doesn't target. So he banished the Dionea. He activated Tower, so he drew an extra card during his standby phase. Then Pot of Dualities adds Justice of Prophecy. Let's see if he uses Justice of Prophecy. So he activates Secrets. Okay, so I'm going to go over Justice of Prophecy. It's a... during the end phase, if you activate a Spellbook spell card previously this turn, you can banish it from your field to add a level 5 or higher light or dark spellcaster monster from your deck to your hand and a Spellbook spell card. So it's a really good card. So he activates Power, but I'm afraid of a hand here. Yeah, I was afraid of a hand. Will these miss timing? I'm guessing they don't. Yeah, with Spellbook of Power, this is a weird chain because how will Power work? How will Tower work? Will Ice Hand? Someone let me know in the comments how this chain link will work because I'm not sure. I mean, they're going over it here. So I'm guessing neither one of them missed timing, or maybe the Tower misses timing. So he adds Fate with Power. So yeah, Spellbook of Power gives one of your spellcaster monsters 1,000 attack, and if it destroys a monster by battle, you search a Spellbook spell card. It doesn't have to send it to the graveyard. That's the one beauty of Power. So I'm guessing the Tower missed timing. I forget what Tower does anyway. When it's like if it's destroyed, you can special summon a spellcaster or something. So here Nate activates Fate. Banishes 3 to banish the Fire Hand. What happened to the life points? How many cards does Robert have? He has 2. Nate's up on cards. That's why that Tower was huge, because he's going to out-resource Robert with Tower. And just keep recycling Fate every turn. Honestly, I'll say this. I underestimated Spellbooks in this format, because the reason I did is because the deck doesn't play Soul Charge, doesn't play Sanctum, doesn't play, all the power cards from Hat format. So that's why I thought Spellbooks were... Plus, they lost Fate to 1. But I think this deck has good matchups. So see, Nate's like, let me go get that second Tower. So Master, Reveal Tower, going to copy what? Secrets or Eternity? Probably Eternity. Is Eternity in the graveyard? So that's the thing about Spellbooks, is you have to recycle. It's not a hard deck to play. The only thing is you have to be careful with your resources. Like you have to be careful to try and abuse Fate every turn. That's kind of like the game plan. So you really have to abuse Spellbook of Eternity. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, he's copying Eternity. Grabs back Secrets. And most of the Spellbook spell cards, you can only activate them once per turn. That's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Became that way. I don't know when it happened. But like in Edison format, it was a little different. Like Substitute. Imagine if Substitute was once per turn. Alright, this card I don't remember. It's like Herald of the Pure Light or something. Herald of Pure Light. It's a rank 2 XYZ monster. Yeah, it's Herald of Pure Light. You need 2 level 2 monsters. I haven't seen this card in forever. Yeah, it's any 2 level 2 monsters. Says you can detach 1 material from this card and target 1 monster in your graveyard. Add it to your hand. Then shuffle 1 card from your hand to the deck. You only use the effect once per turn. So that's pretty cool because you detach Blue Boy and add the Blue Boy back to your hand. And then he XYZ summoned Doubter Magician. So Doubter Magician, for those guys who maybe played during Burning Abyss format, I think you just put it on top of a level 3 or lower XYZ monster during your main phase 2 or something like that. Yeah, I know that card pretty well, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Okay, so here he summons Blue Boy. So yeah, its effect is during your main phase 2, you can also XYZ summon this card by using a rank 3 or lower XYZ monster you control. Transfers materials to this card. This card gains 200 attack for each material attached to it. So it's at 2,500 right now. And it's also a Piercer. And if this card battles after damage calculation, detach 1 material from this card. And then now, Nate reveals High Priestess of Prophecy. You can special summon High Priestess from your hand by revealing 3 Spellbook spell cards. And it's basically a Dark Arm / Master Hyperion. You can banish 1 Spellbook spell card from your graveyard to pop any card on the field. And now he activates Spellbook of the Tower. So he has Doubter Magician, Blue Boy. Did he use... I think he's not using High Priestess effect. So here comes Robert with the call on the Ice Hand. Nate lets it go. Attacks into the Doubter Magician. It's at 25, so he's going to take... Now he pops the Rivalry with Ice Hand. Now he gets Fire Hand. Attacks into the Doubter Magician. And he pops the High Priestess. Now he gets Ice Hand. Attacks over the Blue Boy. Man, you got to get that tower off the field, Robert. Now he's going to abuse Tower again. Yep. Tower. Put back Fate. Draws 1. One thing that's going on at my locals, I think people are rooting against Hat because a lot of people complain. The complaints I've seen at my locals, people don't like playing against a turn 1 Soul Charge deck. And people don't like playing against Hat because Hat can be hard to beat. When they go first and set 4 on you and summon Card D or Curry Bandit. So yeah, a lot of people at my locals are rooting against this deck. It's become kind of like the villain of the locals is anyone who's playing Hat. And it's been performing well. It's the deck that's made the finals the most. Light's Home Rulers did win twice, but it's only made the finals twice. Well, this is the 3rd time Hat has made the finals. They won 1 and lost 1. And Girga's made the finals twice. They've gone 1-1. And then we had Infernities make the finals once, and Infernity lost. And then we had Noble Knights make the finals somehow, and he lost. But David won in time in top 4. I think that's one thing that happened when he made the finals with Noble Knights. Sorry. All right. So it looks like Nate's going to use Chain, Spellbook of Fate. Okay, so I think Robert used Moral Attack's effect. Now remember, Moral Attack doesn't target. But since he already used the effect, he's going to have to pop the Tower. And then now Tower is going to activate. I think Spellbook of the Tower special summons a spellcaster depending on how many Spellbook cards are in your graveyard. I think that's what it does when it's destroyed. Yes, when this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon a spellcaster monster from your hand or deck whose level is less than or equal to the number of Spellbook spell cards in your graveyard. So what happened? He brought back... Okay, so... He brought out Justice, and I'm guessing Justice attacked over something. And then he banished Justice to add a Priestess and a Spellbook spell card from his deck during the end phase. Reveals 3. So Nate takes game 2. We are going to game 3. That was close. Robert fought back, but we are going to game 3. So what will win our 5th Hat tournament? Spellbooks or Hat? Hat's already got 1 win on the channel. We'll see. Starts out by summoning Traptrix Murmaleo. Good opening for Robert. Grabs Bottomless. Yeah, because this deck doesn't really special summon that much, so I think Traptrix Chapel Nightmare is pretty bad against this matchup. You'd rather just Bottomless the High Priestess. You kind of want it banished, because Spellbooks can search Spellbook of Life, which is kind of like a premature burial for Spellbooks. Alright, so Robert sets 2 and passes. So yeah, Traptrix Murmaleo is when it's normal summon, search a normal whole trap card from your deck to your hand. And now Nate sets 3. Here comes Curry Bandit from Robert. Let's see if he attacks with the Curry Bandit. Yep, he does. There was one game I had recently against Evil Swarm, and I didn't attack him with Curry Bandit because I saw Mirror Force game 1. I was like, okay, I'm not going to attack him. I can't afford to lose my Curry Bandit. So, but I think in Robert's deck, it's fine. So here, Curry Bandit is going to add Call the Haunted. And the rest go to the graveyard. So yeah, remember, Curry Bandit would... If it's normal summon that turn, you contribute it during the end phase. Excavate the top 5. Add one of the excavated spell or traps. And yeah, so you tribute Curry Bandit. So now, here Nate summons Justice of Prophecy. Activates Wiretap on the Bottomless. So Wiretap's a counter trap. If you negate it, you shuffle the trap card back into the deck. The one that you negate with Wiretap. Robert activates Artifact Sanctum, which pushes him as an artifact from his deck. That's one of the reasons Wiretap is really good, because Sanctum, when it's destroyed by your opponent's card, and it pops another card. But Wiretap shuffles it into the deck, so it's not... I think it has to go to the graveyard, too. So here, Nate, breakthrough skills, the Moral Attack, because Moral Attack, when it's special summoned during your opponent's turn, remember, pops any face-up card your opponent controls and it doesn't target. So here comes Spellbook of the Tower, and he's just going to banish Justice. Doesn't attack over the Murmur. I think they're both 16. Yes, it has to be level 5 or higher. You can't search Blue Boy with Justice, so he chooses High Priestess and Secrets. I like Justice. It just can be pretty slow at times. But it is a good card. And you can see here Robert's just trying to do as much damage as possible. I mean, that's 5,100 damage right there. Leave Nate at 12, but he can't even use Tower. All right, so Nate's at 13. If only Castell was out, the rank 4 XYZ, because you would Castell the heck out of that tower right now. I know I would. I would definitely go, Castell, put your tower back in your deck. Like, what rank 4 can Robert make? He should make Giant Hand, I think. If he plays it. I think you make Giant Hand here. Yep. Oh, no, Cowboy? Oh, no, you should have made Giant Hand. This is so risky. I guess he's just trying to get him, trying to burn him with Cowboy. It says, at Cowboy, when it's XYZ summon in defense mode, you can attach a material, burn your opponent for 800. Oh, no, Robert. You should have gone for Giant Hand, man. What if he summons Blue Boy? We'll see if it comes back to bite him. It's not like this deck plays Soul Charge. I think Giant Hand was the play, but we'll see. This Cowboy might win him the game. He might just burn him next turn with Cowboy again. Now Nate reveals 3 for High Priestess. Warning? Oh, call. And Nate chains MST to call. So yes, remember, High Priestess is a Dark Arm, but it's only once per turn. So he activates Spellbook in the Master, copy what? Secrets? Says you target one normal Spellbook spell card in your graveyard, copy its effect, reveal one. You have to control a spellcaster, which he does with High Priestess, and then he reveals another Spellbook spell card from his hand. So he adds power. Power. I think that most Spellbook players can only play one power. Come on, power. So he uses Priestess effect. See, he could have been able to negate that with Giant Hand. So now he powers the Priestess, attacks over the... So Spellbook of the Power gives your spellcaster monster 1,000 attack. I think we went over this already. And if it destroys a monster by battle, you search a Spellbook spell card. So he grabs Fate. So we know he has 3 Spellbook spell cards in his graveyard. So yeah, Robert, it's not looking good for Robert. He has Priestess, he has Tower, he has Fate. Yeah, it's not looking good for our boy Robert. But he does have 2 Soul Charges. Or sorry, 2 Soul Charge. Or Skill Charge. Skill Charge. So he summons Traptrix Dionea. Targets Murmurleo. So Traptrix Dionea is the Blizzard. Oh, Rivalry! Oh! That hurts. Ooh. I think they're both different. So, Rivalry. That card is legal in Edison. Both players can only control one type of monster. And I'm guessing Dionea and Murmurleo are not the same type. I think Dionea is a plant. So here comes Tower. Puts back power. During a standby phase. Draws another card. I love Rivalry against Hat. Because you can just stop their plays. Like, if they have, like, a Fire Hand or an Ice Hand and they try to Sanctum you, you're like, chain Rivalry. Now you can't, now you're Your Sanctum fizzles. You try to go call rivalry. And you saw here rivalry completely stopped Robert's play. And now if you're Nate, do you pop the back row with Priestess or do you just pop the Diana? I think you just pop the Diana. You don't want to bring him back in the game by popping an artifact. Oh no, he went for the back row. Oh, Nate, you should have gone for the... Oh, but he can't even bring it back as a rivalry. Never mind. He did the right move. So now he powers over the Diana. Searches for power. Adds Eternity. So he still has Fate. I mean, this is an intimidating field. Fate, Rivalry, Priestess. I mean, Robert's got what? Luckily, Robert's got Soul Charge. Could he have OTK'd him? I don't think so. Could he have, like, Search Life and OTK'd him? Does he have another spell? I don't think so. Oh, I remember. He forgot to banish for Justice. Uh-oh. Misplay from Nate. All right, so here comes Soul Charge. So he can only bring back one. So Robert is going to have to decide, does he pop the Rivalry or does he pop the Fate? Probably the Rivalry. Oh, no, he goes for the Fate. Yes, he goes for the Fate. Nate doesn't chain Fate. I don't know why, but... Okay, now what will Nate do? So Nate didn't chain Fate, didn't use Justice last turn. Nate's punting right now. He had this one in the bag. No, Nate, come on, man. Everyone's rooting for you because Hat has become the villain at the locals. I think the reason Hat gets a lot of hate is because some people would say it's like not a very hard deck to pilot. I think that's why, like, you saw Los in top 4 lost to Robert. He was upset. I think he was upset because he thinks it's a very easy deck to pilot. And then Robert was bragging about it as well. Okay, so Nate activates Spellbook of Fate. Banishes the set monster, which is Ice Hand. Normal summons Blue Boy. How much damage is this? 25, 40. Can he finish him off? Yeah. Can he power him? Yeah, I think power is game, right? Power, banish pop the Murmaleo, and then that's 25, 41, 46. Yeah, that's game. Master Reveal Wisdom. He chains Crow to the master target. So Master fizzles. Uh-oh. So High Priestess popped the Murmaleo. No, was there any way he could have got power? Now you leave him at 100. But Nate's at 500 too. Oh man. Now he uses. Oh, this is not good. He just needs a monster. No, Nate. Okay, maybe Nate should have popped his own Blue Boy. Oh, but Robert didn't draw a monster. Okay. Nate almost punted that match at the end, but he pulled through. So congrats to Nate getting his second win on the channel, first win for Spellbooks. Nate should have dominated that game, but it happens, you know. You're in the finals, you're on camera. There's a lot of times when the finals are going on, there's usually like a pretty decent sized crowd watching. So it happens, but good job on Nate winning with Spellbooks, which I think is impressive because I think it's not really a tier 1 deck. It's a good deck, but I wouldn't consider it tier 1. It's maybe a tier 2 deck. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the finals, and we'll be back soon for some more Edison and Hat content. Bye, guys.